So I do have some show and tell for you.
She brought show and tell, guys.
I decided at my hysterectomy before it that I was going to demand that the hospital give me my uterus back.
Where do you keep this in your house?
It's like on my mantle.
Can I see it?
You can. Also, like, I became unhinged about it. Like, this became the thing that I was fixated on. And they tried to tell me that I wasn't allowed.
You were like, give me my
And
damn
I was
uterus.
like, oh no, I'm allowed.
That's mine. Almost dying taught me how to live. Being struck by a car left me in a 3.5-week coma with 15 broken bones and 16 surgeries to complete, including brain surgery. However, I woke up from that coma in an even greater place than I ever foresaw for myself. How? The universe will guide you out of the darkness and into the light if you allow it. Often, spirituality comes off as too highbrow. I'm not about that. Welcome to the podcast that talks and teaches about it through the lens of humor. Together, we'll harness positive energy and use it to work with the universe, all while giggling the entire time. Welcome to Gabriella Rebranded. Win most, lose some. Hey guys, we are here for the second part of Alissa's story, but this episode is not just Alissa's story. It speaks to the battle of femininity and women in the healthcare system and amidst a healthcare crisis, and what womanhood means and what it means to be feminine and to claim your body. So,
Yeah, I feel like on that last episode, we went into the trauma porn, and now we can get into the fun parts. And
well, it starts not fun.
It starts
but
not
then
fun.
It gets fun.
Yeah.
For clarification, this episode's going to start really sad, but then it's going to get fun and get powerful and happy. Yes. Okay. I was just thinking, like, why do fucking women? We have it so rough.
We have it so rough. And I felt like I was just getting attacked left and right. Like, I think that's like where I start to like really... Well, one, it just felt like it's happening again, you know, like it's all happening all over again. I took the first surgery so hard, and like it took so much to get out of that feeling of like being violated. And it was like, what more of me can you take, you know? Like
100%.
I think like it's a different narrative than like the typical cancer narrative or what people assume to be the cancer narrative. Like it was all focused on my womanhood. It was all my girl parts. I'm getting like picked at and prodded. I'm getting cut open. I'm getting pieces taken away from me. And I just felt like I was being punished for being a woman. Like that's like really how I framed the whole experience, was that for some reason there's something wrong with me. Like, and I'm just constantly being punished for it. And that was a really difficult feeling to sit with, especially like coming from the background that I did. Like my life experiences had been really shaped in very formative ways by domestic violence, by violence against women. Like when you come from that background and then you go through all of this and you're kind of like told this, but it's to help you. But to me, it just felt, I definitely didn't feel like I was being helped.
Yeah.
And I felt really ungrateful for not feeling that way. But I just felt like I was being attacked constantly.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like help. You're like, how is this supposed to be making it better? This feels so much worse.
Yeah.
Just the identity crisis, I can imagine, that accompanied all this, because you feel like you're apologizing for being a woman. Like, what did you even, I know a lot of times women say that. We say that about certain injustices that we face on the daily, but your series of stories, like your saga, like it truly felt like you were living punishment for being a woman. Like all these health things that you had directly related to being a woman.
Yeah, it was completely centered around it. And like, I think anyone, whether you've gone through cancer or not, I think any woman can understand how the medical system feels really dismissive of women, of our pain. You know, I think many women have had the experience of going into a gynecologist and saying, this hurts, this is so painful, and that being dismissed. I think it's
Yeah.
assumed
Oh,
that we
yeah.
can.
Yeah. I forget what the stat numbers are exactly because there's a lot of numbers in my head, but there was some crazy high stat about women not being believed in the medical world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's actually like for some reason encouraged.
Yeah.
Like there's like some objectivity thing that I don't know, but dealing with that constantly. And like at the beginning of this process, like a leap to me was the most terrifying thing. I was like, what do you mean they're gonna put a little scalpel in my vagina? Like,
Yeah.
like I would shake with fear. Like if someone talked about it, I actually would have to like cover my like I would get like viscerally like. And now years later, like I'm just having that experience constantly.
Constantly. Yeah.
And like in the hysterectomy, like what people don't realize, like for cervical cancer, when they remove your cervix and they remove the top inch of your vaginal canal, they stitch it shut. How that was described to me was that my vagina would be now like a mitten, sewn shut, which I thought was a very cute way to describe genital mutilation. Like, what,
Your
like,
vagina will be like a mitten.
that to me is just violence, you
It
know?
will be
Like,
like a mitten. That's terrifying.
yeah, I don't want that.
That's
And also
That's
like grossly
terrifying.
understated, you
That's
know?
terrifying.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, grossly understated. Like a mitten. I don't like that.
no.
I don't like that.
Very cute reframing.
Don't like I would like it literally just you saying that to me. It took me, did you see me disassociating for a second?
Yeah.
It like took me a second to be like that's
Exactly what I was doing. I was disassociating. I honestly felt like for a very long time, I was like a loiterer around my body. Like I was so removed from it that like, I think I just felt like, okay, like,
loiterer on my body, yeah.
yeah, like it wasn't something that I fully existed in. I had to like remove myself from myself a little bit. Like I just became this thing other than myself. And I never felt fully present in my body. I never felt like it just was like a complete loss of autonomy. You know, like you have some choices, but none of them are good. And you're constantly being told like it's the best for you. Like
Yeah.
this is for your own good. Which like there's a power dynamic, you know, like between like a patient and an insurance company, between a patient and a doctor, and like you know the doctor is there to help you, but you don't feel like a person anymore, and you especially like don't feel like it's okay to be a woman.
Yeah.
You know, like you're constantly being told there's something wrong with you. And you're constantly enduring pain in really intimate places. And to like go through that at like a really young age too, you know, like you're navigating relationships, you're navigating sex, like you don't have like those are important parts of life, you know, like I think that it can be dismissed as like, well, what are those things like in relation to like saving your life and your life being on the line? But those things are
they're part of life. They're the part of life that you you thought that you thought you were gonna have that you like, and it's I don't think people realize how much medical trauma does fuck up, especially yours is to the exponential degree that mine is, of course. But it's like how much it does fuck up your love life and relationships. And for you, that is underlined infinite times over. And it's, you know, people tell you it's not the big thing to worry about. And you're like, but I wanted this as part of my life. Like love in a relationship is part of my life. It was like, for example, like this is gonna sound like the stupidest thing, but like not when I couldn't drink for a couple while after my injury, and now like I can barely drink, and I do barely drink.
Yeah.
But I was so upset about it, and it's like such just when it first happened, and so upset, like I was so upset, and it's like it's alcohol. Is that the thing you're upset about? And it's like Yeah, but looking back, it was a 23, 24-year-old, 25-year-old who thought she was going to be
Yeah.
living the life that's on TV, and that's always the 20s experience, and now she doesn't get to do that. So even though it is something as trivial as alcohol, which is poison and no one should drink it, it's, why do I have to sound this woke when I'm 25 years fucking old, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it's not about it's about the normalcy.
It's about the normalcy and the relationships. That's the love. That's alcohol, partying, whatever. But alcohol, like love, I'm not alcohol, partying, whatever, but love, relationships, like
how you connect with people, how you like form bonds to like have this really intense barrier to that. And even back to the alcohol, like I stopped drinking too when I was diagnosed. Like there's this loss of just like a normal process.
Of just a normal process.
Of socializing, of getting to know someone, of becoming intimate, that like gets completely changed. And there's not a lot of people that understand it around you. And there's not a lot of people that can give you advice that's like based in truth. There's not a lot of people that can give you advice that's based in experience or reality. It leaves you in a place where you're like, I think in like the darkest moments, I would be like, who will hold this? You know, like who would want to is like a thought that I would go to a lot of the time. Like who will just be able to? Because like there's just some people that just don't have the bandwidth to deal with that serious of a life, you know? And even still now, you know, like, I mean, like we can talk about this in a bit, but like it's not something that just like happened and it's done, you know, like it's this ongoing thing. And you're realizing that okay, this is like a new way of moving forward in the world. And it feels really lonely. And like things like sex, things like relationships, alcohol, like any like normal experience that someone around you your age is getting to have, you know, of course they want to comfort you and say it's not important, but okay, but you get to experience it. All of these people get to experience it in normal ways. And at the time I just felt so like it would bring me back to like, I don't get to experience that because I'm being punished for some reason. And I don't understand why.
Yeah. And it's like, it's so like, oh, but that doesn't matter. That's not important. But it's like, but it's something that most people can do. And I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember just because this is, I forget who it was that said, I'm trying to think if it was my dad, because he's very smart and he's a doctor, or a therapist, but someone that I was working with, like when I was early on into my injury, they were like early, like probably less than a year through my injury. So I still wasn't able to drink at all at this point. They said they explained it. They go, she's not actually upset about not being able, like, to do the act of getting drunk. She's not upset about not being able to feel that. She's upset that she's not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Like if you, like someone was like, if you told her that she could drink, she wouldn't. She's upset that she's being told she can't do it, but everyone else can.
Yeah. It's your autonomy being taken away. Like no one wants their choices being taken away.
Yeah.
We have so many things dictated in our lives already as women. Like, just in general, like you want to live a life that feels liberated and free, and that you can feel like free to be the person that you are and make choices for yourself. And now you have like daddy medical system telling you, you can't do this. You can't have sex, you can't drink, you can't do, like, there's all these
other
things.
people can do that, but you can,
Yeah. And
then, like, there are modifications, but who the fuck wants to do a modification?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I'll modify them on my own terms.
I'll modify them on my own term.
When that autonomy, like, is centered around all your girl parts, like, it can feel really dehumanizing. Like, I would feel, like, really dirty for weird reasons. Like, I just felt like there's so much overlap between sex and relationships and my cancer experience that just, I think is outside of the norm of, or just outside of what people would think of when they would be like, you know, when they ask you how you're doing, like those things being really intertwined felt really complicated to me. And like that loss of autonomy felt really like degrading at times. And it just like, I think it added to a feeling of like self-worth that I don't know if it's this experience for other cancer survivors or other types of cancer survivors. I can only speak on my experience, which was all centered around my womanhood. And I think it connects to a bigger picture of how society treats women, of how like we operate in society, you know, like to like ask me how my cancer experience was truly going would be to be asking me like very complicated things about like what is my vagina doing today? What are my nipples doing today? How much feeling do I have in my chest? How scared am I to like be touched by my partner, even in non-sexual ways? Like, you know, it was a very, very like loaded thing in ways that I was not prepared for years of my life to be
encompassed by.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you now in terms of going through? Oh, wait, actually, I have two questions. Before we get to the where are you now, this is my question. So the boobies were gone. You had them all taken away. When did they get put back? Is that the same surgery or is that for an extended period later?
That's an interesting one.
Okay.
That's the fun convo.
Okay, that's a fun combo. Me and Alyssa became friends over our boobs. Anyway.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's how we met.
Literally.
So in the double mastectomy,
Yes.
they put in temporary expanders.
Oh, yes. I know of the expanders.
Yeah, which I refer to as medieval torture devices.
Okay. All right.
They're terrible. They are not boob-shaped. They do not feel like boobs. They were awful. Like,
you can't see them. They're inside, right?
yeah, they're inside, but they're like a really hard, like plastic material. Like, to put in perspective, like, you know, when you're going through things like this, like your friends want to tell you like what feels good, right? Like no one lied to me and was like, yeah, they look fine. Like everyone was like you should wear a shirt that covers those up.
Everyone was like, you should. No one lied. No one.
It would be so transparent if you tried to lie to me about these. Like,
no one even tried. There was no sugarcoating to be done.
No. It fed back to it, right? That I was like, okay. And on top of this, I felt like I looked like a mutant. Like I was like, you know, like, and you want to say that's not important, but it is. Like,
no, it is.
Like
losing my boobs in the accident, I was like, oh my God, because my hair also fell out. And I was like, I've lost all the things that make me me, because my hair makes me me, my boobs make me me. And now I've lost my boobs. I've like, who even am I? What am I now? Like,
yeah, like
I can wear a bikini top. Like,
exactly. Like you don't realize how profound and like not just vanity it is for your
so
body to be your identity
yeah.
until you do not have it.
Yeah.
Like those things are important.
No, it's your identity. Like people like they think the hair is just hair, the boobs are just hoop. It's like, no, but when it's a part of you, when it's a part of your identity, where it's like, it's a loss of identity. It's terrible.
That's also, this is like another one of those things between us where I know it's not the same thing, but I actually have trichotillomania. So I like compulsively pull my hair out. Like I started in high school.
Okay.
And like early in diagnosis, like didn't know what that was. Like I didn't even know that I was doing it. So I would have like bald spots. So again, not the same thing.
No.
But I like can relate there.
When I actually got my wig before my hair was long enough for extensions, one of the people that I met, like a client who had gotten a bunch of wigs, was because she had really severe, how do you say it again?
Trichotillomania.
Trichotillomania. She had really severe, and she like would pull out like all her hair.
Yeah, those things are important to us. Like they're things that bring you joy. They're things that bring you pleasure. Like pleasure is a really big part of like existing in your body, in the world, like not just physical, like going out into the world and experiencing things, being able to socialize uninhibited. Like those are big things. And to have them taken away when you're young.
When you feel good, like in your skin, like you feel good about how you look, it changes everything.
Yeah. Now, like, you know, at the time with like the expanders, I'm still like having like limitations on what I can do physically. They're like bolted into place.
Okay.
So like they don't move around the way that like natural breasts would.
Okay.
Like I cried myself to sleep almost every night. Like
how long did you have them for? Because I know when we met, it had only been about like 6 weeks since you got your new yitties.
yeah,
and
when we met it was
like
very recent.
yeah, and we met in like May or April.
I think I got them in May.
Okay,
so
May.
I think we might have met in like June.
So
like
we might have met in June.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that they were like very,
that
very
would check
new.
out.
Or maybe
Yeah.
I got them in April. I got them in April or May.
Okay,
and
you-
then
okay,
you and I
okay.
met very, very soon
Yes.
after.
Because I remember you were like 6 weeks. I forget how it even came up. But like
We were talking about bathing suits.
our loungers were next to each other and we were talking about, we had never spoken before. Like this was our first time meeting. We were talking about bikini tops. And I said something about how now that I had a boob job and I was like giving the whole like, oh yeah, I had boobs and I lost boobs. So now I have boobs again because of a medical thing. And you were like, same. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, and it was funny because like I was like very aware of suddenly having fake tits, you know, like it was like a thing that like, so I remember that being like my like first conversation in public with someone that like acknowledged that. And like all of a sudden our like commonality was
someone
like
who had that
so
too?
much deeper. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of at the pool that we met, there was one time last summer, like towards the end of the summer, there was some random guy, I hate men, came down and he sat on the lounge chair next to me and he just was talking to these 2 random girls that he did not know, but he was trying to hit on them. And he was talking about how he liked that they were so natural. And at the pool that we go to, as we are in LA, everyone, all the girls there were so fake. And he's talking loudly about how much he hates fake boobs or whatever. And like I'm right next to him and I was just like, is this guy trying to at me right now?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, what?
Like, are we about to get into a fight?
Yeah. I was like, are we like, maybe he can't tell because most people can't tell, or maybe he is directly trying to at me. Just like, which way's it going? Which way is it going? Like, am I taking my earrings out or not? Like,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Should I interject?
Either way, he's a dick. Shut the fuck up. Let women do whatever they want. Like,
yeah, don't comment on anyone's body because you do not know why. And even like, because I feel that too. I feel a lot of like awareness of like having fake breasts, and like there's like a narrative or like there's an awareness that like I know that people around me like know that my boobs are fake and like don't know the context. And you're like, don't comment on people's bodies because you don't know the reason of why they have them. Like
exactly.
But also, even if like you haven't had them because of a medical reason, like that's enough of a reason. Like whatever reason you have fake tits is a great reason to have fake tits.
Fake tits. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's almost, when there is a medical reason attached, it's almost like you don't want people to just view you as fake tit girl. You want to be like, I'm fake tit girl who went through all this. And then it's like, no, there should be no way. It shouldn't matter what your reason is for having fake tits. It shouldn't matter if you're a fake tit girl or a real tit girl. It's just like, what have we created as a society that women feel like we need to apologize?
Yeah, we need to justify our bodies.
Yeah.
And like, especially for me coming out of all of this, that plays heavily of like, yeah, why do I need to justify what my body looks like?
We need to justify our bodies. Why was it important for you to get the boobs back? Like, why was it like we need to constantly, why did you get extensions? Why was that important to you? It's like we need to justify or explain everything.
Yeah. You best believe now, if I hear any comment of like, I don't like fake tits, I'm like, I just went through cancer.
Like, and you're waiting to see what they have to say back.
Yeah. Like the ultimate shutdown. But I have had like a lot of awareness, you know, of like, so back to your question of like through that process, like I had the expanders and I had been pretty flat chested before my whole life. And like, when it came time to like get my new titties, I had a choice in what size to get, you know?
And what did you choose? I mean, they're nice. So what did I choose? Like, I'm not looking at you. Like, I haven't seen you in a bikini so many times. What did you choose?
Yeah. Well, so there's like a process you go through with the expanders. So you go in bi-weekly to like gradually fill them because when they remove all your breast tissue, like if you were to just get breast implants without a double mastectomy, like your breast tissue supports that implant. But when you have a double mastectomy, like your skin is so thin. Like it was like thinner than the skin on my wrist. Like,
Okay.
so you have to like build up the skin and like the scar tissue to be able
Okay.
to support the implant.
Got to get built.
Yeah. So it was a process and not the most comfortable one, but you know, like back to like the awareness conversation of I had thoughts about that of like I like pretty immediately was like, I'm gonna get some tits, you know? Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna get some bigger tits.
if I have to do this, I'm at least getting tits out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like there's an assumption that anyone that has fake tits like was insecure before about not having tits or something.
You never
know?
really thought about it. It was just
I was never like that. I
No.
actually like really loved having small tits. But I was like, if I'm gonna go through all of this to just come out looking the same, then it's not gonna feel like it was my choice. Like I was like, I may as well come out of this with something different.
do something different. Yeah.
Like it's not like I'll like I probably wouldn't have gone and gotten fake tits on my own. So I was like, I may as well get bigger ones and just like experience what that's like. It was like kind of my first like yeah, like morsel of like reclaiming my body and like having a say in it, you know? So I was like, I may as well choose something different because it'll make me feel like I chose this. And that was like an exciting thing. It did make like the process a little bit longer of them having to like fill them gradually. And like basically it's like someone made this joke to me of like, it's when they like come and like put cheese on your pasta of like, you just tell them when to stop.
Stop it, that's great. Just tell them when to stop.
That was another great response.
That is another great one.
Yeah. So that's how that
I never tell them to
went.
stop. I say, keep going, keep going, keep going.
There was like a little bit of like, yeah, like, I don't know when we get there. And also because like the expanders didn't like look like boob, like,
Yeah.
I was like, there was a disconnect there of like, okay, the implants are like, gonna look better than this, right? Like, but in May, I got my final new set of tits and like, I did go through a lot of like prior to getting them, I had thought a lot of like, oh, like people are going to perceive me as someone that just has fake boobs, you know? But I didn't know what that would be like because you don't know what it is until you experience it, you know? But then I got my final form.
Yeah, I got my final form. And that's, to think about how it goes back to our what not to say episode. It goes back to, even though we are united in a lot of our experiences, we're still our own people. Because I think with the whole, I never had expanders. You didn't have to walk around with your boobs pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
For a year and a half. So it shows that like, we've had a lot of similar experiences that brought us together, and that's an olive branch like that connects us, and it bridges the gap for friendship. But we still will never say we know the other's experience.
Yeah, and you like leave room to have that conversation of like, what was this like for you? You know?
Yeah, because whereas the expanders, that sounds absolutely horrifying, and I don't even want to think about it. You don't know the year and a half that I wouldn't even look in the mirror. Like, I wouldn't even look at my naked, like, I wouldn't. So it's like, it just shows the different battles that we fight.
Yeah, and like just leaving room for this like really crazy array of human experience that we all have.
Yeah, and being a human is crazy. And that's why it's really important to understand that, like, it's important to understand that you don't understand what everyone else is going through. Even if you've had vaguely similar or similar experiences, there are still parts that you will never understand.
Yeah, and when you don't like shy away from those hard conversations and leave room for the space with like other people, like I think it can like facilitate really meaningful connection, you know, when
I pointed in that direction in case you were wondering.
That one? Towards the Gabriella
rebranded sign. That's for the listeners, that's left.
It's funny because my left one is bigger than my right one.
Well, everyone's left one is bigger than the right one because the heart's underneath it. That's why the left hit's the good tit. It's the good tit because the heart's underneath it, so the blood goes directly to it, so it's a little perkier and a little bigger. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
I learned something new.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
No, everybody's like, yeah, an all woman, obviously one boob's bigger than the other. I'm like, yes, and an all woman is left boob.
Sisters, not twins.
It's left boob.
Well, I learned that even when they put implants in, like when they told me, they were like, because they give you the little ID card.
Yes.
Like the
Yes.
little.
Yes.
I was like, they're 2 different sizes. And they were like, yeah, well, when we take the breast tissue out, like we weigh it, we make sure, and like you have to fill the space. So like still one's gonna be. I was like, oh, interesting. I would think that they would just make them exactly the same,
No, they want to keep it real.
But yeah, that was like an interesting experience for me of like existing in a new body. And I think that like really goes to show like the importance of giving people agency in the medical system, like to like be able to let people choose that. That was like the first moments of me like kind of like being able to come out on the other side. And it was not about that I always wanted big tits or anything, it was like about having a choice over
a choice. It's about having a choice.
Yeah. And I had so much of like my femininity attacked, I felt like, that like I think to be able to exist in a more feminine looking body gave me a lot of power that I did not anticipate it giving me. Like I just thought that I was like doing something different because why not?
No, I swear to God, part of my personality came back when I got my boobs. Part of my personality came back when I got my extensions. And then more of my personality came out when my hair grew back on its own and I didn't need extensions anymore. Like,
Like it's those like steps you get to like take back into yourself and have a say over your body. Getting to make that choice was like the first, I think, like morsel of like getting my autonomy back. And I think it's like funny looking back at how like profound that was for me in a lot of ways that I didn't expect of, I think I just came to this place where I was having like weird like body dysmorphia about it. It's like shock, like seeing your body exist in a different way. But I had always been like a little bit uncomfortable with like femininity before all of this. And it's funny, like going through the process of getting it attacked and taken away so much.
Makes you fall in love with it.
Yeah, it made me like really lean into it. And I started to like just really embrace being in a more feminine body. And like I think I was able to like through that, take that shame and like really subvert it and be like, you know what? Like I'm gonna be a girl with tits. Like that's who I am now. Like I'm gonna exist in this body and I have like fought for this body, And I also was like, I've had this body dictated by the medical field. I've had it dictated by men. I've had it dictated by my family, by society. Like, this is something I get to have. And I think that was a big, like, turning point of how I framed the whole experience for myself emotionally, but, like, also, like, the jump-off point for where I decided to go with, like, reclaiming my bodily autonomy and, like, stepping into femininity more and it being something I was more comfortable with and like allowing myself truly
to be a woman, to be feminine.
Yeah. And it like took me time to get there, like there was an adjustment period of like existing in a new body, of a lot of hyper awareness of like how I was perceived. And I think there were ups and downs with that you can't go out in your little tank top with no bra when you have like very large, like, I mean, you can, but I was experiencing for the first time, like how aware I was of like my body, of how other people would see them and thinking a lot about that. And I think that I would kind of go back and forth with like, it would remind me of those feelings that I felt of, my body's been policed, my body's been like oppressed, but over time, like it became this like different thing that like, I just, actually before I came here to meet you, my friend made a joke to me and was like, what do you think those titties are made of? They're pure power. And then
fuck yes.
And now that's actually where this is going, is that like they did make me feel really empowered again. And it was like a thing that happened over time, that like they were this choice that I got to make. And I was like,
You finally got to make a choice.
I finally got to make a choice. And I finally, like, you know, one of the things that like I really learned through that process was how to advocate for myself. Like that was like the big thing that I took from all that. So having this choice, it also brought me to a place of like, I have had my body dictated by a lot of people. I've had my body judged. I've judged my own body. I've like contributed to that. And it brought me to a place of like, fuck it. Like, what does it matter? Like, why am I going to shy away from existing in this body that I've been fighting for years to like keep alive at the very base? But like being, you know, we said it on our other episode, like being alive isn't enough. I want to feel good in this body. And like, you know,
Titties make you look fucking great.
Yeah, titties are a part of that. And just like focusing on pleasure, you know, like I think that it was like the first step in like reclaiming this like space to like feel like mine. And that was like a really empowering place to be. Or it became one.
Yeah. In my episode with Nadej, the sex scholar, I talked about how I had my fuck girl summer, and that was the summer that we met. And it was like both after sort of going through everything and getting our boobs. Because I remember I met you when you were like, I'm kind of doing that now too. Where we were talking about like, just like the freedom that you fought so long for this body. Now let's enjoy it.
Yeah. Like you got to have like your like season of liberation.
Yes.
I actually feel like I thought it was going to happen then. And then it happened a little bit later. And and I thought about you in that joke so many times of like, yeah, like there's this newfound like, oh, I can do what I want. And you also, I'm sure you went through this of like, there's less like of taking your body for granted. You've like gone through this experience of feeling so fragile that you're like, look out world. Like, you know, I want to experience this in my fullness. Like I want to exist. I want to be really present. I want to like feel everything my body can feel. And I think that that's like a very healing and profound experience. It's a really emotional experience. It can be really rewarding.
Our bodies have felt enough of the bad. Let's feel some fucking good parts that our bodies can feel. Yeah.
Let's feel all the good things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah, it brought me to like a point where I was like, if anyone wants to say anything about my fake ass titties, fuck you. I survived cancer. I fought for these. Like, I'm going to exist. And then it slowly like it bleeds into everything else, you know? Like I think like you can't feel safe in a world that you don't feel safe in your body.
Yeah.
And you definitely can't feel good in a world where you don't feel good in your body. Like,
yeah, 100%.
And I think that if like that, once you start there, when you start having that autonomy back or finding it for the first time, it like ripples out, you know, and starts affecting other areas of your life. I like to say it's like not a happy ending story because like the story's not over. You're like always finding new things that come up as we've talked about. But I think that that's been like a really powerful one for me is like I advocate for myself in so many different ways, like in the medical field for sure, but like in dating and relationships, like when you like get to know so many different sides of yourself, there's like a different way that you can approach life and there's different things that you can imagine for yourself, you know?
When you know how much you've already brought to the table and how much you can go on to bring to the table, and you're so aware, you've seen yourself operate in all these crazy ways, it's so much easier to advocate for yourself, and especially when you realize how important it is that you do so.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like, you can also like be a little bit more objective, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's not so tied to like whatever, like we all have our emotional blind spots maybe like in life. And I think I think you said it really well, like when you've seen what you bring to the table, you can move forward with that in a lot more of a certain way. I think you can also, I think people appreciate really genuine people too, you know? Like, honestly, like I think people respond really well to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
People like realness, people like genuine, people like authenticity. And when you're like, hey, I actually have all these tricks in my tool belt. Like, you know, it's definitely, and women, we we have a lot more, we can have a lot more suffering physically, a lot.
A lot.
I mean, your entire suffering journey was because of being a woman, but because of that, we also have the potential to bring and do so much more.
Yeah. Like the depth of your darkness is kind of like also means that there's like that much
More
like
light.
more potential for joy. Like
Yeah.
how deeply you feel things like goes in both directions. And by like fully honoring both, you can like live a life that's like truly like authentic to what you want and your body and your mind. And like I think like when you see how much you can accomplish, it just like momentum keeps you going.
And I think, this is beautiful, but I think that maybe because you, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am, you fought so hard to be a woman, you're gonna be a fucking woman.
Yeah.
Because you didn't just fight hard to stay alive, you fought hard to be a woman.
Yeah, I like said to a date the other night, I was like, you would think I came out of cancer all like, my vanity's not that important. Like, no, I came out like, oh, I'm gonna like lean into these things. I'm going to experience all of them, and I don't care. Like,
yeah. Oh my God, I'm so into my vanity.
Yeah.
like it's because it's like, do you know what I fucking fought for to be here? Like, yeah, I'm gonna look damn good doing it.
Yeah. And it was a thing that I felt like, I think before I would have been like nervous to do that or like be seen as like like that it wasn't me. But like, I think that there's a freedom in having a lot of you stripped away that you're like, oh, there is no permanence of me. Like I can be whoever I want. Like I can be this version today. I can be this version tomorrow. Like, you know, there's no right answer.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Oh, wait. Yeah.
You probably want that story of the uterus.
Before we turn off, can we have some show and tell before we wrap up?
Yeah. So I do have some show and tell for you.
She brought show and tell, guys.
I decided at my hysterectomy before it that I was going to demand that the hospital give me my uterus back.
Where do you keep this in your house?
It's like on my mantle.
Can I see it?
You can. Also, like, I became unhinged about it. Like, this became the thing that I was fixated on. And they tried to tell me that I wasn't allowed.
You were like, give me my damn
And I was
uterus.
like, oh no, I'm allowed.
That's mine.
You can hold it if you'd like. Her name is Vicky because she got evicted.
Vicky got evicted.
Yeah. It is truly the most irreplaceable thing that I own.
Are the black parts like the sickness?
No, they're just like
that's just
the body
that's just
existing.
part of the body?
Yeah. It actually is though my full like
that's insane.
It is. It's more than just the uterus. Like there's pieces of my cervix in there. There's
oh my God.
Yeah.
That is woman times 1,000.
Yeah.
And that was a choice.
This was a choice.
You had to advocate for yourself to get that.
And this was the first surgery. Yeah, they really tried to brush me off on this one.
Oh, you had to fucking fight for that.
Oh no, I would not let like a single person in the hospital near me without them knowing that this was not to be thrown away. Like I realized that looking back that I was projecting some things.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh no, you're giving it back to me. And at the time, I thought this was like a once in a lifetime experience, right? Little did I know I'd be back at the same hospital a year and a half later.
For the second ovary
for my ovaries to be removed, which I also do have at home.
Oh, you also have your ovaries. So that's your cervix and everything.
Yeah, this is from the first surgery.
But then you also have your ovaries?
Yeah, that phone call to pathology was fun, where they tried to tell me that I wasn't allowed for that too. And I was like, actually, I've done it before.
I've done it. You said I've done it before. They were like, you've done what before?
I was like, no, you gave them to me the last time.
You gave them to me the last time. I'm a repeat customer.
Yeah. When I went to pick them up, the woman was like,
you get like a punch card.
Right. I should get one.
Yeah.
She was like, what do you do with them? She was so concerned.
She thinks you're a witch or like Cassie. You like have your crystals or lighting candles. Oh.
Yeah. It did. It made me feel like I was in control of something. And now it's a weird quirk about me.
I am a woman.
I have my uterus in a
I
jar.
am a woman, and here's proof.
I will say, like, I thought that it was going to be this, like, really grand experience of, like, I think that I thought I was going to walk into the hospital and, like, the clouds were going to part and, like, a light was going to shine down. And, like, the reality was, like, they handed it to me in, like, a soup container. Like, it was just one of those, like, plastic containers. Like,
and then you had to put it in its own glass jar. They didn't even...
Yeah. I had this whole, like, I was like, okay, now how do I transfer it?
That it's sitting in?
It's isopropyl alcohol.
Okay.
So when I got this, they would not give me the formaldehyde. For some reason, when I got the ovaries, they gave me the formaldehyde.
I don't know, politics.
Yeah. But yeah,
those are beautiful. This was, wow. Well, thank you for being my third guest. I've never had multiple guests on this podcast, so thank you, Vicky.
Yeah.
For giving first time for everything. Oh my God. Well, before we say goodbye to you and Vicky, of course, is there any place you want to let the people... I know you already let the people know where they could find you in the first episode you did, but
yeah,
you want to reiterate anything?
You can find me on social media at alissamilo.jpg. I think if there's any takeaway, it's that...
Wait.
Oh.
I just realized your name is Alyssa Milano, right?
Yeah.
I
was, to be honest, I've been shocked that you haven't acknowledged it yet.
Why have I not acknowledged that? Your name's Alyssa Milano.
Most people, I like think that I thought it was going to come up in the intro and I was going to be like, not that, Alyssa.
I don't know why that just clicked for me.
Yeah. No,
it's not that, Alyssa. Well, I'm pretty sure she spells with a Y.
She does. Yes, my mom was like, I'll have it spelled one letter different as if it like makes a freaking difference. But yeah.
Keeps it Italian though, because there isn't a Y in the Italian alphabet.
Yeah.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano. The other Alyssa Milano.
The other Alyssa. Oh my God. Well, at Alyssa Milo on all the things.
AlyssaMilo.jpg.
At AlyssaMilo.jpg. Not to be confused with another Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
AlyssaMilo.jpg. But her last name is actually pronounced Milano.
Yeah.
But I think that's saying guys need to shut the fuck up.
Go.
We got it. This has been Gabriella Rebranded. Alyssa!
That was a long one.
Vicky! You lost a lot, but you won, Vicky.
I won.
You won, Vicky.
Lose someone most.
We lose someone most. Vicky's
Cheers
fucking most. Cheers, Whale and Bunny. Hospital support plushies. The best.
The best.